Everybody. Good evening. Hello, Mayor. Hey, everybody. It's March 9th. It's 7:30, and this is the work session of the Mayor and Council. Linda, will you please read the Open Public Meeting Act?
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, the notice requirements have been satisfied. The meeting dates for the year are confirmed at the annual meeting, are posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and on the borough website, published in the record within the first 10 days of the new year, and copies are sent to the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger. Notice of this meeting by the February 27th, 2023 Sunshine Notice was sent to the Record, the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger, and has been posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and borough website.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Homan.
Here.
Councilwoman Lovasolo.
Here.
Councilman O'Connell.
Here.
Councilman O'Toole.
Here.
Councilman Yacarino.
Here.
Councilman Delavatio.
Here.
Mayor Wazinski.
Here. Okay, so we have a proclamation for colon cancer prevention and awareness in Allendale. If you noticed, there is blue ribbons on the downtown trees. So this is a proclamation for colorectal cancer awareness month. Whereas colorectal cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in the United States among men and women combined. And whereas colorectal cancer is one of the few cancers that can be prevented with timely screening, but 1 in 3 eligible Americans are not up to date on their screening. And whereas colorectal cancer is estimated to by the #1 cancer killer for those ages 20 to 49 by 2030. And whereas Black Americans are 20% more likely to be diagnosed with colorectal cancer and about 40% more likely to die from the disease than any other groups. And whereas colorectal cancer is expected to account for 11% of cancer deaths among Hispanic men and 9% of deaths for Hispanic women. And whereas screening colonoscopy rates have still not returned to pre-COVID-19 levels. And whereas the national goal established by the National Colorectal Cancer Roundtable is to strive to increase timely colorectal cancer screening rates to 80% in every community for all Americans eligible for screening. And whereas observing a colorectal cancer awareness month during the month of March would provide a special opportunity to increase awareness and offer education on the importance of early detection and screening of colorectal cancer. Now, therefore, we, the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Allendale, do hereby proclaim March 2023 is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month in the Borough of Allendale. So, is everybody up to date on their screening? Yep. Very important. So, thank you, the resident, Terry Ricciardi, for bringing that up. Okay, so public comment. Anybody from the public want to speak? Seeing nobody. We'll get on to our administration piece of the agenda. So we have second reading of public ordinances. We are cleaning up the code for the water, changing the language to Veolia from Allendale, and also to update the code on all of the positions that we have in our police department. We also are introducing an ordinance. This is an ordinance for the financial agreement, and also an ordinance to update our salaries in the borough. The Allendale Housing Inc. is going to be taking over our senior housing, and this is a financial agreement, a new pilot that will be going along with that. Our consent agenda, we have our temporary budget, appropriations that we have every year at this time. We have appointment to a temporary chief financial officer, and our bill list. Everybody check the bill list of our finance team. And the rest of them are actually resolutions approving and authorizing the execution of the senior housing to Allendale Housing Inc. And it's a light agenda tonight, folks. So is there any unfinished business? We might as well continue through our any unfinished business, anybody? Any new business? All right, let's get our community reports done. Councilman O'Connell.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
DPW, the preparation of the lake is underway, and as well as the fields are scheduled to start next week, weather permitting. And the borough dealt with its first and Ron approached hopefully only substantial snowstorm of the year last Monday, and I thought the roads were great and everything was opened up for everyone to go to work that morning. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Alrighty. Councilman Delavatio?
Thank you, Mayor. The Land Use Committee met this morning, actually. We had some brief discussions about some of the things we've been talking about for the last month and a half that I've been a councilman. Some of the code revisions. The committee did agree to a couple of minor code changes in just simple language, which I'm going to send out to Mr. Wiss to review. We did have some discussion about some other additional code changes, and we're just waiting for some additional information back from our planner, Ed Snikes, which we still don't have. So once we get those, the committee will review that, and then we can make some suggested changes for some of those codes. We discussed a couple of the issues that were brought up, not really issues, but more or less items of concern around the borough, whether it was property maintenance or other issues. We talked about that. I also gave an update on I want to call it the variance cheat sheet that I'm developing. I do have a lot of information that I'm putting together, and I hope to have something by our next meeting that we can actually look at. And that's all I have right now. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. That was a good meeting this morning, so thank you for that. And I did follow up with Ed Snikes, so hopefully we'll hear something back from him.
Great. Thank you.
Councilwoman Lovasolo?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, on the heels of Joe's report and meeting from this morning, I do just want to remind our residents that neon signs, lit signs, are not allowed by businesses in the borough. That means whether it's a neon open sign or what have you in the windows of your businesses. And our code does address that. So just want everyone to familiarize themselves once again with our code around our signs in town. So for the finance, admin, and HR committee, our next finance committee meeting is going to be March 14th. We had to postpone our finance advisory committee meeting due to, well, for various reasons, but that will be rescheduled soon. So we're looking forward to that meeting with our residents who are on that committee. Continuing to review the budget, continuing to be responsible financial stewards for our town people. I want to just put on my green team hat at the moment and tell everyone that April 22nd, which is actually Earth Day, is going to be our environmental day again in town. We're going to have electronic recycling as we did last time, collection. At the John Fell House, we will do our clothing collection again, which was a big success last year. Oh shoot, I had all this wonderful information that I wanted to share with people about what a success last year was, but I could share it at our next meeting. And what else? I think that's about it.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Homan?
Yes, thank you. So tonight, as you had mentioned, we have the second reading of ordinance 23-03, which again, as I shared last meeting, just takes the activities that are now handled by Veolia as we sold the water system to Veolia, takes it out of our code, and Allendale will still reserve the right to put in water restrictions should this become necessary. And as far as an update on the Allendale Veolia transaction, as everybody remembers, we have monies that are in escrow because we still need to produce some easements for Veolia to be able to close that escrow portion. So our team continues to move forward. We had a meeting last Friday, and definitely things are moving in the right direction. There are blue ribbons around town, little blue flags that are on the ground, and there may be spray paint, and that is because there is surveying going on of the water pipes in the ground. So in order to ensure that we have a correct easement, we need to make sure that we identify exact locations of water pipes. So that's being done by an outside company, and it's an important step. So we ask that residents be patient with that and obviously not remove any of the flags at any time. And as far as the sewers, we are continuing work on updating the legal agreements with Ramsey and Saddle River, as Allendale Pipes do accept sewage from both of these municipalities as it flows to Northwest Bergen Utility Authority. And we are also having the sewer lines looked at by video camera, and this will identify areas that are in need of repair. The sewer costs in Allendale are high. They're a significant part of our budget, and it certainly is going to be a focus of our water and sewer, because before we were always water committee, to ensure that we're doing all we can to have an efficient system in place. So
Excellent.
that's it, Mayor.
Can't wait
Thank
to
you.
hear those numbers.
Yeah.
Councilman O'Toole.
Indeed. We had our public safety meeting this past Tuesday. We discussed a number of routine police items, but a majority of the meeting was meeting with two residents who we invited in to discuss their concerns about speeding on McIntyre Lane. A couple of residents from McIntyre. We all know speeding on McIntyre has been a problem forever. It seems that all around town speed is up, as well as aggressive driving. I was passed on a double yellow this morning for doing the speed limit in the middle of town.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Get his license?
I
Or
did.
hers?
I did. So Chief Dillon and I have had a number of conversations about this. He's going to be targeting certain areas around town for increased speed details and patrols. Our meeting was very productive. We addressed quite a few of the concerns of the residents, with more to go. So thank you to Chief Dillon and Sergeant Griffith for their knowledge and their participation in that. This past weekend, the fire department held their annual installation dinner. It was a great evening, very well attended. Two members of the fire department, Matt Baez and Christos Peluso, as well as Chris Rago, the dispatcher on duty, were recognized for their valor at last year's tragic house fire. There was a lot of emotion. It's still pretty raw for these guys. It was well deserved, and they received a standing ovation. So congratulations again to them. And finally, I was sitting with Trip Rubino at the dinner, who's one of our recruits currently in the police academy. He regaled me with many stories of the fun times that they're having up there. He and Mark are doing really well there, and they look forward to graduating and getting to work.
We look forward to having them on the road.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Councilman Yakarino.
Thank you, Mayor. We have not had an official facilities committee, but that doesn't mean we're not working on certain things going on in town. We did have I'd call maybe an ad hoc meeting last Friday with the library, just looking at some of their needs and concerns long-term. So we're in the process of putting a plan together there, seeing what we could do. This morning, Ron, Joe, and myself met with the vendor for our new concession stand. We're looking to hopefully get some specs and ideas as to what we can do there feasibly. So we're going to hope to have proposals in the not too distant future so we can make a decision on how we want to move forward with that. So looking at a prefab unit and seeing how we can really configure it to meet the needs of Crestwood and try to, again, be as efficient as possible with that project. We'll review and make a decision hopefully sooner. Last weekend here at Borough Hall, we had consolidated security. They ran new lines for our Wi-Fi system. So we have that up and running now. So we should have some improvements there, which will also benefit our live streaming of council meetings. So that's a good improvement there. And other than that, also last week, I met with Boy Scouts from Troop 59 here at Borough Hall. They had asked one of the council folks to come out and talk to them about how the borough operates and how the governing body effectuates laws and changes and things to that nature. So it was a really nice group, and I was happy to meet with them, and that was very well received. So other than that, our next facilities meeting is next Thursday at 5 o'clock.
That's awesome.
Thank you so
Good.
much.
Thank you.
I do have one question. Is the concession stand, is the timing based upon what comes back from other?
It's partly based on supply and then also the potential demo of the existing structure. If there's anything that's underneath the surface that we're not aware of, I know that Ron's working on getting the sewer line camera.
Oh, yeah.
So I know that
Part of our, we have,
Yeah, we
part of
had-
our sewer challenges.
yes, so we had some issues with the restrooms in the concession stand in the past, so we're gonna make a determination, I think, sooner than later as to what, the viability is for this season, and how we're gonna move forward with that.
In a perfect world, it would be not in opening season, but
Yeah, I've had
sometimes
some-
we have
yeah.
no control over that.
Yeah, sure. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
So, all right, staff reports. Linda, do you have anything?
Thank you, Mayor. Just that, on March 20th, through March 23rd. I will be attending the Municipal Clerks Conference in Atlantic City at the Hard Rock Cafe. Haven't been there in 2 years, so I'm looking forward to it. Other than that, that's it.
John Gill, our Director Tom.
Just putting together the March newsletter, so if you can get me any outstanding reports or anything you want included sooner rather than later, so I'd like to get that out early next week.
Oh, the due date's already passed. I would like to get you something.
Did you already pass?
So, but yeah.
I have wiggle room.
Thank you for being flexible. I will remind the individual that I need some information.
That was my report.
All right, and our staff report, we'll continue with. Do it.
Be pretty brief because I think most of the things that I'm involved in have been mentioned in council reports. Obviously, the water utility is at a very formative stage for the reasons mentioned by Councilwoman Homan. The markouts are being done. That will then shift the onus back to us to prepare the easement agreements, get them recorded, and that will, as was mentioned, free up some money back to the borough. It's being held in escrow. Tom from my office has been involved in the transfer on Allendale Senior Housing. So that's reaching basically fruition this evening. A couple of ancillary documents to be prepared after adoption of tonight's agenda. So that'll be finalized. TJ in my office has been involved with the clerk's office on ongoing Oprah requests, which that faucet just doesn't seem to stop. And then typically I am dealing with on personnel or facility matters 2 or 3 times a day. But not until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's all I have.
Thanks, Ray.
Oh, John Gill, paper shredding event, May.
I have that on my report.
20 Oh, yes, go, Mayor.
All right, now the mayor's report. The clerk's office will start selling compost permits on Monday, March 13th. And then the BCUA's free paper shredding event in Allendale will be held on Saturday, May 20th from 9 to 1 at Borough Hall. 220 West Crescent, the 70 condo rental units they broke ground and they will actually start pouring in the next week. And then a week or so after that, we're going to start seeing some elevation and some framing going on. So really exciting times. For our community center, we've been meeting weekly. We have weekly huddles and we actually are going to have our 3-hour page turn meeting coming up in another week where we're actually going to be going through all of the bid specs to get ready to go to bid by the end of this month. So that is going to be very, very exciting. One of the big tasks that I have with hopefully Councilwoman Lovasolo is to pick out a proper gym floor. So we've been doing lots of research and we're actually going to go tomorrow to test out some gym floors. We can actually with baskets, we can take a bunch of different balls and bounce them. So that's what we're going to do because we want to make sure that we have it floor that is going to be accommodating for all of the residents. I had the opportunity to be interviewed by resident Jake Dreyer for Brookside TV. So I was on Brookside TV. He asked me lots of questions about what it's like to be mayor, and a lot of it was about the history of Allendale. So I had
That's awesome.
yes, it was really cute. Actually, I think Fred Litt, our borough historian, is going to be posting it on his website. So, and actually, Tyler, you mentioned that we met with the library. We're looking to upgrade some of the facilities, actually, particularly the kitchen, which will benefit the whole community. The kitchen is in desperate needs for an upgrade. So we look forward to getting that spruced up for our seniors, our Girl Scouts, the library, Borough Council, everybody else who wants to use it, all the residents. And that's it for me. So we are ending a little bit early. So do I have a motion?
Wait, I got my stats. Can I see my stats real quick?
Sure.
So, getting back to the paper shredding, last year we did 4 tons of paper shredding in the borough. We had 9 tons of electronics and over 5,000 pounds of clothes were collected. And we sold 16 green machine composters and 5 rain barrels. And the composters and the rain barrels will also be for sale again this year.
And this is all in the April, what will be now this year, April 22nd.
Yep.
Will there also be paper shredding there? Or is that going to be separate on May?
It's
just so-
separate. We
Okay.
couldn't get the. we
That's fine.
couldn't-
No, just
yeah.
so people know that
Yeah.
everything else will be the same, just the
Yeah.
paper will be the May.
May 20th.
20th. Thank you. All right. All right. Anybody else
That's all.
forget anything? Last tidbit?
Sure.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved, Holman.
Second O'Connell.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right. See you in 10. Hello, everybody. Oh, we're back.
We're back.
And we're back.
Welcome. This is the regular session of the mayor and council meeting. It is Thursday, March 9th, 2023, 8 o'clock. Linda, will you please read the Open Public Meetings Act announcement, please, and take roll call?
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, the notice requirements have been satisfied. The meeting dates for the year are confirmed at the annual meeting, are posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and on the borough website, published in the record within the first 10 days of the new year, and copies are sent to the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger. Notice of this meeting by the February 27th, 2023 Sunshine Notice was sent to the record, the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger, and has been posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and borough website. Councilwoman Homan,
Here. Yes.
Here.
Councilwoman Lovasolo,
Here.
Councilman O'Connell,
Here.
Councilman O'Toole,
Here.
Councilman Yakarino,
Here.
Councilman Delavatio,
Here.
Mayor Wilsinski.
Here. Okay, salute the flag, everybody.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, you can start it at every council meeting. How about that?
No, I can't. The mayor gets to do that.
Okay, so now we have public comment on agenda items only, not seeing anybody out there. We are going to approve the minutes. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes of February 23rd work and regular session minutes?
So moved.
Roll call?
Councilwoman Homan,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lovasolo,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino,
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio.
Yes.
Okay, so we have second reading on the ordinance that we discussed earlier, ordinance 23-03 and ordinance 23-04. Can we approve these together?
Let's do them separately.
Do we have a motion to approve ordinance 23-03 to amend and revise chapter 262 of the Borough Code of the Borough of Allendale entitled Water?
So moved. Holman.
Second, Yakarino.
I'm gonna read it. The following ordinance published herewith was first read by title only on February 23rd, 2023, and posted on the bulletin board of the lobby of the municipal building and borough website. Ordinance 23-03, an ordinance to amend and revise chapter 262 of the Borough Code of the Borough of Allendale entitled Water. Councilwoman Homan,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lovasolo,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino,
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio.
Yes.
Okay, and we have our second reading of ordinance 23-04 to supplement the org chart for our police department. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second O'Connell.
I'm going to read. The following ordinance published herewith was first read by title only on February 23rd, 2023, and posted on the bulletin board of the lobby of the municipal building and borough website. Ordinance 23-04. An ordinance to amend, supplement, and revise Chapter 26 entitled Establishment, Composition, Table of Organization, Chief of Police, Director of Public Safety, Vacancies and Duties of the Borough Code of the Borough of Allendale. Councilwoman Holman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lovasolo,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino,
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio.
Yes.
Excellent, thank you. And we have an introduction to our ordinance. The ordinance will be introduced and passed on first reading, and then we will have a public comment for second reading on March 23rd, 2023 at 8 p.m. in the council chambers. Ordinance 23-05, which is to amend Chapter 53, Officers and Employees. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Lovasolo.
Second, please.
Second, Delavatio.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Holman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lovasolo,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino,
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio.
Yes.
Okay, and we have another ordinance that we'd like to introduce. Again, this is the introduction to the ordinance and first reading, and the public hearing and passing of it will be on March 23rd, 2023 at 8 p.m. In the council chambers. And this is ordinance 23-06 of the Borough of Allendale, County of Bergen, approving the financial agreement with Allendale Urban Renewal. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Holman.
Second, please.
Second O'Connell.
Councilwoman Holman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lovasolo,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino,
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio.
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay, and we have our consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So
No.
moved.
Nope, no, you're good. Second. Holman.
Councilwoman Holman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lovasolo,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino,
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio.
So yes, but I'm gonna abstain from 108, 109, and 110.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, so anybody have any unfinished business that they forgot about in their council report? All right, or any new business? Did our reports. We did our staff reports. Public comments, anybody? Nope. Okay. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Night.
All right, good.
Actually joined the festival.